Ever feel like you're juggling way too many gadgets? And trying to remember which one has which protection plan. It's a bit much, isn't it?
It really can be.
Well, Apple might have heard us. Today, we're doing a deep dive into something brand new, AppleCare One.
Hmm.
It's their latest idea, a monthly subscription service aiming to, you know, unify device protection across the whole Apple world, sort of moving on from needing separate AppleCare Plus for every single thing.
Exactly.
So our mission today is simple. Really unpack what AppleCare One is, how it works, its features, and crucially, is it actually convenient? Does it offer real value?
Hmm.
Especially for you listening, if you've got, say, an iPhone, an iPad, maybe a
And
watch,
multiple devices.
and this just launched. Super recent,
Mhm.
available in the US from July 24th, 2025, announced literally the day before.
Yeah, it's very fresh. And it's a pretty big shift strategically for Apple.
How so?
Well, think about it. They've always done individual insurance per device. Now it's this bundled, comprehensive thing. It's not just about coverage, though. It's about boosting their service income, locking users in more tightly, making protections simpler.
Ah, okay. So strengthening loyalty and that recurring revenue stream.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It signals that shift towards being a services company, not just hardware. They want that predictable monthly cash flow and, well, to make the ecosystem even stickier.
Right. So let's get into the definition. Apple's calling it a unified vision, a new way for customers to protect multiple Apple products with one simple plan. What's behind the marketing talk?
Well, the core idea is to create, as they put it, an exceptional experience. Make
Yeah.
it easier to protect those key devices, your iPhone, your iPad, your watch.
The essentials.
Exactly. And it really fits this wider trend we're seeing everywhere, moving towards subscriptions for everything. It streamlines management, gives you one bill. It just simplifies the whole thing.
One neat package. Got it. Okay, philosophy aside, what does AppleCare One actually cover? Let's
Yeah.
dig into the benefits. It builds on AppleCare Plus Rien, right?
It does, yeah. It's got that same strong foundation. So you get the familiar stuff, unlimited repairs for accidental damage drops, spills, that kind of thing.
All right.
You also get battery service. If the battery health drops below 80%, they'll replace it for free.
Standard stuff.
Right. And the expert support, 24/7 priority access, chat, phone, in-store appointments, plus those flexible repair options, mail it in, take it in, or the express replacement service.
Where they send the replacement first.
That's the one. Minimizes downtime.
Okay, that all sounds like regular AppleCare Plus Forest. Good, but expected.
Hmm.
Is there anything really new here? Anything that makes this different from just buying, 3 separate plans?
That's the key question. And yes, there is a major enhancement. The theft and loss coverage has been expanded.
Oh, how so?
Previously, theft and loss was mainly just an option for iPhones. Now, AppleCare One includes it for iPads and Apple Watches, too.
Okay, that is big. Losing an iPad or a watch is a real headache.
Exactly. These devices are super portable, often taken everywhere. Users have wanted this for ages, so it definitely offers more peace of mind across more of your main devices.
That sounds great. But you mentioned, was it a nuance earlier? Are there any catches with this theft and loss coverage?
Ah, yes. And this is really important for people to understand. With AppleCare One, you get a maximum of 3 theft or loss claims per year.
3 total.
Yes, 3 total across all the devices covered by your plan. That's different from the old way, where individual AppleCare Plus plans usually allowed 2 claims per device.
Ah, okay. So if you have, say, 5 devices covered and are unlucky, 3 claims might not stretch as far.
Potentially, yeah. It's an aggregate limit, something to consider if you have a lot of covered tech.
Oh.
And critically, this is non-negotiable. Find My must be enabled on the device when it's lost or stolen.
Right. Find My has to be on.
And it has to stay enabled throughout the whole claims process. No exceptions.
Okay, good to know. And what about managing the devices on the plan? If I trade in my phone, for example.
That's another area where they've aimed for simplicity. If you trade in a device directly with Apple, the coverage transfers automatically.
Oh.
And since it's a monthly subscription, you can add or remove devices from your plan whenever you want. So there's flexibility there.
Okay, flexibility is good. Now, the $1,000,000 question, or maybe the $20 question, how much does it cost? Let's break down the pricing.
Right. So the base subscription for AppleCare One is $19.99 per month. That covers up to 3 Apple products.
3 devices for basically $20.
Yep. And here's an interesting point. The price is the same regardless of which 3 devices. So a top-end iPhone, a MacBook Air, and an Apple Watch Ultra cost the same $19.99 a month to cover as, say, an iPhone SE, an iPad mini, and an Apple Watch SE.
Huh. Okay, that's different. And what if you're an Apple super fan with, like, 4 or 5 devices.
If you need to cover more than 3, you can add extra devices. It costs an additional $5.99 per month for each extra device.
Okay, $6 per extra device. Now, Apple's pushing this as a way to save money, right? They gave some examples.
They did. They claim, for instance, covering an iPhone, iPad, and Apple Watch could save you up to $11 a month compared to buying separate plans. So $19.99 versus maybe $21 or so individually.
Right.
And another example they used, someone with a MacBook Air, iPhone, iPad, and an Apple Watch, so 4 devices would pay $19.99 plus $5.99, which is $25.98. They say that could save nearly $36 a year compared to roughly $29 a month for individual plans.
Okay, so some potential savings there.
And this is a big but, those savings aren't guaranteed for everyone. It really depends on what devices you have.
How so?
Well, think about devices where individual AppleCare Plus is already pretty cheap, like AirPods or maybe an Apple TV. We're talking maybe less than $1 a month equivalent.
Right, those are cheaper plans.
If you add one of those to AppleCare One, especially if you only have, say, an iPhone and AirPods, it might actually cost you more. Their example showed an iPhone plus AirPods could be about $7.50 extra per month on AppleCare One. That's over $90 a year more.
Wow, okay, so it pays to do the math for your specific devices?
Definitely. Although, on the flip side, for something really expensive like the Apple Vision Pro, its individual plan is $24.99 a month. So covering just that with AppleCare One at $19.99 is actually cheaper.
So cuts both ways. Depends entirely on your mix of gadgets.
Precisely. And another thing to note, there's no option to pay annually for AppleCare One. It's strictly month to month.
Reinforcing that subscription model you mentioned.
Absolutely. It's all about that recurring revenue for Apple.
Okay, so we've got the monthly fee, but there's still deductibles or service fees if you actually make a claim, right?
Correct. The monthly fee is just for the coverage itself.
Yeah.
If you need a repair or replacement, you pay a per incident fee.
What do those look like?
Okay, so for an iPhone, screen or back glass damage is $29. Other accidental damage on an iPhone or an iPad is $99.
$99, okay.
For a Mac, other accidental damage jumps up to $299.
Ouch.
Yeah. Theft or loss for an iPhone, iPad, or Apple Watch carries a $149 deductible.
$149 for theft or loss. Got it.
Accidental damage on a standard Apple Watch is $69, but it's $79 for the Ultra or Hermes models. And for headphones, like AirPods, accidental damage is $29.
Okay, so a range of fees depending on the device and the issue.
Exactly. So summing up the value proposition, AppleCare One seems really geared towards users with several high-value Apple devices. It encourages having more Apple gear, basically.
Right, makes sense.
For people with maybe just 1 or 2 devices or lower-cost ones like AirPods, sticking with individual plans might still be cheaper.
Good point. So who can actually get this, and how do you sign up? Is it global?
Geography first.
Yeah.
Right now, it's a U.S.-only exclusive.
Just the United States for now.
Okay. Despite interest elsewhere, yeah, that's the current limit.
And the big one for a lot of us, can I add my older phone or iPad? Or is it only for shiny new stuff? We all have that mix, you know.
You absolutely can add older devices, and this is a really significant improvement over the old system.
Oh, yeah.
The age limit is much more relaxed. You can add devices you already own as long as they're up to 4 years old.
4 years.
Oh.
Wow, that's way up from the old 60-day window for AppleCare Plus.
Huge difference. The only exception is headphones. Those still have a 1-year age limit.
Okay, 4 years for most things, 1 year for headphones. Do they have to be in perfect condition?
They need to be in what Apple calls good condition. Basically, it has to power on and the screen can't be cracked.
Makes sense.
And they also need to be running up-to-date software. We're talking iOS 18.5 or later, iPadOS 18.5 plus most macOS 15.5 plus Mac, and visionOS 2.5 or later for the Vision Pro.
Okay, standard requirements there.
Yeah.
Now, what about families? If I have it, can it cover my partner's iPad or my kid's watch?
That is a very important point. AppleCare One is tied to a single Apple account, a single Apple ID, meaning it is not a family plan. It cannot cover devices that belong to different Apple accounts.
Oh. So each person in the house would need their own AppleCare One subscription if they wanted their devices covered.
That's right, which could definitely add up and might make it less convenient for families compared to, say, a shared tool of coverage.
Yeah, that's a key limitation for households. Okay, so assuming it works for an individual, how do you actually enroll?
Pretty easy, actually. You can sign up right on your device or in an Apple store or, when you buy a new Apple product.
And managing it. adding or removing devices later.
You do that in the Settings app, go to General, then AppleCare and Warranty. You can manage your covered devices there. If you're adding an older device, they might need to do a quick remote diagnostic check or have you bring it into a store just to verify its condition.
Right, the condition check. Okay, let's talk claims, the not-so-fun part. What happens when, inevitably, something breaks or gets lost?
Okay, for repairs or replacements due to damage, you start the process online. You'll need your agreement number or the device serial number. Then you choose how you want it fixed. Take it into a store, mail it in, or use that express replacement option.
Pretty standard claim process there.
Yep. Now, for theft or loss claims, remember the big one. Find My must be enabled.
Must be enabled, got it.
The claim process itself is done online in 2 steps. You start on Apple's site, and then they usually pass you over to their insurance partner in the U.S., that's often AIG or Assurant, to finalize the details and pay the deductible.
Okay.
And crucially, don't remove the lost or stolen device from your Find My account or your Apple ID until the claim is fully approved,
Why is that?
because they need to verify it's still marked as lost. Once the claim is approved, Apple will permanently disable the device remotely.
Ah, okay. So keep someone else from using it. And what if you sign up and then decide maybe a few months later this isn't really saving you money or you don't need it? Cancellation.
You can cancel anytime. It's a monthly plan.
Easy enough.
Seems so. If you cancel within the first 30 days, you typically get a full refund, minus the value of any claims you might have already made. After 30 days, any refund would usually be prorated based on the unused portion of the coverage. But since it's monthly, canceling just stops the next payment.
Okay, so no long-term lock-in.
Right. So wrapping it all up, AppleCare One is definitely a big step for Apple's services. It's comprehensive, it's convenient if you fit the profile, meaning you're deeply invested in the Apple ecosystem with several high-value devices.
Right, the power user.
Exactly. The pros are that unified coverage, the expanded theft and loss protection, potential savings for some users, and that much more generous eligibility for older devices.
And the cons.
The cons are the aggregate claim limit for theft loss, the fact it can be more expensive if you have fewer or low-value devices, the big one that it's not a family plan, and of course it's US only for now.
So is Apple making protection feel less like a one-off purchase and more like just another seamless ongoing part of being an Apple customer?
That's the goal, yeah. A continuous subscription relationship.
Okay, so here's something to think about as we finish up. AppleCare One clearly pushes us deeper into the ecosystem, tied in with a monthly fee. What does this whole trend, not just from Apple, but everywhere, towards subscriptions over ownership, mean for how we think about our tech? Is this kind of service giving us freedom from worry, or is it just another, well, digital leash keeping us tied to one company's world? Something for you to ponder.